Hey everyone, before we dive in, if you're enjoying these stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps the channel grow. I never saw it coming. Her walking out like that. For a guy like him. I'm Jake, and I've always valued steady ground, real trust, and the kind of quiet loyalty that lasts. I own a little contracting business. Up at dawn, home late, sleeves rolled up, building things with my own hands. I like what's reliable, what you can count on. What doesn't shake? That's the kind of life I worked hard to create with Sarah. We've been a couple for 4 years, married for 2 of them. We had our daily habits, our shared goals, and what I truly believed was rock-solid trust. Then Alex showed up, the motorcycle guy. Loud engine, wild ink, leather jacket, hair that somehow still looked messy under the helmet. I didn't meet him face-to-face at first. I just heard the stories. Little comments, photos online, offhand mentions. Sarah told me he was only a friend. I didn't press her. I trusted her completely. I figured our steady life would always be enough. I thought she saw how deep what we had really went. I thought she got me. The evening she left, there was no yelling, no big fight. She came home with a packed bag and this calm, almost satisfied look. "I need to figure out where I really belong," she said, barely looking at me. No real reason, no second thoughts. I didn't beg. I didn't try to stop her. I just nodded and stepped aside. The biker was idling outside, gunning the throttle like he owned the street. She gave him a smile, the kind that wiped away everything we'd built over those 4 years. That first week felt strange, like a weird blend of hollow and clear-headed. Hollow because the person I trusted picked chaos over calm. Clear because her decisions spoke louder than anything else ever could. People always say the heart wants what it wants, but I'd learned something truer. What people do shows you way more than what they say. I cleaned the place she'd walked away from. Quietly, methodically, taking back the space she'd left empty. No rage, no scene, just watching, thinking, getting ready for whatever came next. 2 weeks later, Sarah called. Her voice sounded different, unsure, shaky, carrying a hint of guilt. She told me Alex had treated her badly, that the thrill she'd run after had turned into pure mess. He didn't care about her feelings, her schedule, her world. She cried on the phone, trying to make it all make sense to me. I stayed calm and listened. I didn't hint at taking her back. I didn't talk about how much it hurt me. I just let her words sit there because they were saying everything a fight never could. When she showed up the next day, I met her at the door, steady, collected, unmoved. Sarah probably expected me to be relieved, maybe even feel bad for her, or at least open my arms. She got none of that. I just stood there, watching. Her eyes flicked around nervously, her fingers twisting, waiting for me to snap or demand answers. I didn't. I simply said, "I hear you." That was all. Short, even, no promises, no blame. She started going over it again, the mess Alex had dragged her into. Endless late nights, promises he never kept, impulsive choices, arguments that blew up out of nowhere. She talked about the fear, the letdowns, feeling used. Every word, every sob, every tear just proved what I'd already figured out. She'd been chasing a rush, not real love. And that chase had taught her something hard. I didn't push for sorries. I didn't try to comfort her. I let her lay it all out on her own time. When someone has to face the fallout of what they chose, the lesson sticks deeper than any lecture. I could see her changing right in front of me. The bold, certain Sarah who'd walked out was now unsure, fragile, second-guessing everything. Watching her deal with the results of her own moves, without me stepping in, was stronger than any argument I could have made. That night she wanted to talk about us. I stayed quiet, just listening. When she finally asked if we could start over, I didn't answer right away. Instead, I asked one question. "Do you get why you're back?" Her eyes opened wider and something clicked. She did. She finally saw that choices come with costs, not because I made her pay, not because I fought, but because reality showed her. Over the next few days, I kept my distance. I went back to my schedule. Work, gym, life. The same one she'd once thrown off balance. She kept reaching out, sometimes apologizing, sometimes explaining. Every message got a calm, thoughtful reply. I wasn't trying to be harsh. I was just letting the real results of what she did settle in. Her regret, her wake-up call, her vulnerability. Those are things no speech can ever teach. By the end of that week, Sarah started acting differently. The bold, impulsive woman who'd left wasn't there anymore. Instead, she was quieter, careful, fully aware of what she'd messed up. She stopped expecting my full attention and started noticing the space I'd taken back. She realized I wasn't sitting around waiting for her apology. I was living my life, whole, without her in the middle of it. One evening she showed up without warning. I was on the couch reading, totally relaxed. She stopped dead in the doorway, clearly braced for yelling or some big reaction. There was nothing. I didn't stand up. I didn't smile or scowl. I just glanced up, neutral, letting my calm do the talking. She stumbled over her words, explaining again, almost begging this time. I listened without cutting in. She'd learned the hard way that I wasn't going to jump back into her drama. Finally, I spoke. You wanted the thrill. You got it, and it stung. You wanted freedom. You felt what it really costs. I didn't have to show you any of that. It just happened. My voice was steady, unshaken. Those quiet words landed heavier than any shouting match ever could. Tears filled her eyes. She nodded, no words, getting it completely. She'd made her decision, and now she had to carry it. Over the following weeks, her calls and texts slowed down, gentler, more respectful. She stopped acting like my world spun around her moods. I kept going with my routine, job, buddies, hobbies, filling my days with steady purpose. Each day felt easier, lighter, more mine. Her being there wasn't required for me to feel okay anymore. Eventually, Sarah stopped reaching out completely. I didn't contact her either. I'd figured out something big. Staying quiet and letting her face the results of her choices, no games, no drama, was the strongest move I could make. She got the lesson she needed, and I got my life back. No bitterness, no hate, just clear sight and real strength. I released what wasn't meant for me and opened room for what actually matters. My peace, my limits, my own path.